So here's what I'm thinking. You subscribe and just give me a little bit of time, and we will give this room exactly what it needs. Okay, hold on a second, back up. We'll get there, but first I have to show you this studio space, because we built a pretty wild gaming, streaming, editing, and filming space, and we did some weird stuff. And that's what I want to show you. I want to show you some of the weird. So let's get to the weird, and then we'll get to the breaking. Kenzie and I bought and built this home entirely so that I could build my perfect studio underneath it. And from day one of planning and designing, every decision was made not to just make it the coolest stream room ever, but it had to be a headache-free work zone so that the room would be out of the way and I could entirely focus on creating. The stream setup here has 4 cameras always ready to go. So we've got the main one here, which is the A7S, the original A7S. I bought it used on Facebook Marketplace for like 500 bucks. Still, it's 4K 30 full frame. You got the A7, you got the EOS RP, which is doing 1080-60, but vertically mounted for gaming stuff, having that tall screen. Up in the corner, if ever I wanted to do some like full room stuff, I got another A7S again that I bought used on Facebook Marketplace, and then the top-down camera for unboxing stuff is the EOS RP. A camera that used to be my main camera and is now just permanently up there. Because I wanted a next level stream room and I knew I'd have a bajillion cameras and peripherals, I needed some next level cable management. And so putting conduit through the walls, tubes through the walls for all the cable management was on the top of my list. And so we did, and I plan on doing that in every room I'm ever building, ever again. One of the best decisions I've ever made. Cables have to be long though. You can see behind each camera though, there's a hole in the wall that all the cables go through. I didn't want cables running all across my setup like it was at the last one. And all those cables feed through the wall and come out behind this chunk of a PC right here. And cables, feels like something out of a movie. We've got 2 CamLink Pros in here. So I can get up to 8 cameras plugged into this thing. I haven't done it yet. I planned on doing it like 2 years ago, maybe one day. Maybe one day I'll find a reason to have 4 more cameras plugged in here. And because I know you're gonna ask what's in this PC, it's custom liquid cooled. There's a separate loop on the CPU side and on the GPU side, but the CPU is a 5950X Ryzen 9 and the GPU is a I wanna say it's an RTX 3090. That was a lot of fun to build. Took way too long. I've never had a super convenient guitar setup where it's just flip a switch and go, and especially never a convenient like play guitar on stream setup. So building something that was entirely digital and in the box, but still sounded great, and I didn't have to wear headphones, was kind of a large undertaking. But the Axe FX3 is fantastic. It sounds great. It's all digital, and going into a Rodecaster Pro means I can grab the guitar directly into my stream and I can play it through my speakers and it sounds better than an amp. Definitely a clutch Harris decision. I also put one of those little M1 Mac Minis in there just so I could like edit videos or like record guitar stuff on stream. And I haven't done it yet because I'm not confident enough in my guitar skills to do it like live on stream yet, but who knows? Maybe one day. One of the clutch devices that we put in this space was the Rodecaster Pro. Even though I'm never like touching it and adjusting things myself, what we have it doing is the PC runs into it, and the Mac runs into it, and the guitar runs into it, and then it runs out to these massive studio monitors. And so literally anything in here can go either through my headphones or through my speakers. Basically anything that I'm doing in here, immersion. The mouse pad area of a setup always goes through the most tweaks and iterations and swapping out gear until you find something where the gear does everything you want it to do, but nothing's in the way, right? Just like invisible gear. Invisible gear, that's probably not the best metaphor, but I'm gonna go with it anyway. I've got 2 different microphones for audio. I wanted my live streams, at least the chatting portions, to look like a YouTube video. So the main microphone I use is this shotgun mic. It's a Rode NTG4 Plus. It's barely off the screen. Like sometimes you can see like 3 pixels of it at the top of the screen. That's it. But when I'm gaming, this picks up all the clicks from the mouse and keyboard, so I actually switched over to my Beacon mic. And it's taken me a while, but I found the perfect audio setup. I use the Beacon mic and all the effects that come with the Beacon software, but for mixing, I don't actually use the Beacon software. I use the Wavelink software, that way I can use my Stream Deck Plus, which is more of a versatile control device than the Beacon stuff. And guys, it's the perfect combo because I love this microphone, but I love the Stream Deck Plus. Also, by the way, I love that the Stream Deck Plus has red knobs. You don't have red knobs. Only I have red knobs. Whole world, I'm the only one with them. You'll get them eventually, but for right now, just me. For audio, landing on the Beacon mic with the Stream Deck Plus for control and using the Wavelink software, it's not perfect. Both of those ecosystems have caveats, but if you combine them in this way, I think you get the best combination. Next to the Stream Deck Plus, I've got a wireless charger for extreme convenience for charging my mouse, and then a Stream Deck, oh, what's that called? Stream Deck XL. I forgot that was called for a minute. Yeah.
I did too.
It doesn't say XL next to it. One of my favorite Stream Deck buttons I added is I've got on and off switches for all my cameras because the power supplies are plugged in through those little Hue outlets. And so I can literally just turn on all 4 cameras and then turn them all off. I don't even think I use half of them yet. I don't think I ever will. The mouse is the Logitech G502 wireless, custom colored by Colorware to be some high colors, of course. And then the also Logitech, I don't even remember what, 703, 915, not even close. The 10 keyless one, also wireless. And then the most important bit, of course, is the mouse pad that probably says something really wholesome in Japanese. We'll never know. Definitely doesn't say anything gross though. Promise. It says something. That mouse pad is dope and you can buy it and not tell anyone what it says. I'll put a link in the description. I feel like I should put a lot of this gear, if any of it interests you, in the description. I'll put Amazon links. They're all affiliate links, so if you buy one, thank you, it supports me, but I'll put those down below if any of this interests you at all. Oh, hey, almost forgot to tell you about the ceiling. We added some rails up here that have come completely in clutch. Steel rails that go across both sides, so we can hang both lights and cameras from it. Best thing I've done in here. That's all. I think that about does it for room number 1. Let's jump over to studio room number 2. Welcome to studio 2 or B or editing room, whatever you want to call it. My second studio room, or the editing room, the one I'm in now, this was originally supposed to be an editing room for an editor, and Scott ended up mostly working from home. And so it just sat here unused. So I was like, I'm gonna use it. If it's not gonna get used, I'm gonna use it. I wanted a second room that had a totally different vibe than the streamer room. I wanted something that didn't feel like gamer dungeony, you know? Like the other one just, it's got a little bit of a dungeony vibe to it. I wanted something warmer and more welcoming and friendly. And so that's what I was going for with. How did I do, by the way? How friendly are we in this room? I just wanna show you 5 of my favorite things about this room. Favorite thing number 1, Stormtrooper Stream Deck Plus. There are 2 of these in the world. One of them is right here. In my opinion, that is the best looking Stream Deck ever made. Favorite thing number 2, the A7 IV that I've got here pretty much permanently. Because the A7 IV is a UVC camera, it plugs in via USB and it just works like a webcam. So I do all my Zoom calls, Skype calls, and then of course with the microphone mounted to it and everything, best Zoom calls you can see on the internet happen in this room. Favorite thing number 3, this fill light that's over here. It's magic. Look at this, there's no metal, there's no magnets right there. Just checkmate, atheists. Thing number 4, this wall, I put a lot of effort into it. I put up this black wood myself, and it's supposed to be a set that we're gonna start using pretty soon here. I think it looks fantastic. I love the texture. It adds so much to this room, this accent wall over here. Thing number 5 is where I display my expensive addiction for the whole world to see. I don't know why buying lenses is so fun, but every time I think I get my last lens, there's one more. There's always one more. And right now there are 2 more. When I first started designing Senpai HQ and what each room was gonna be, I anticipated having like 5 or 6 employees here at all times. So I had all these different designated rooms. And it just turns out that things don't always go the way you think they're gonna go. And that's not always a bad thing. Like I learned that having a small team works better for what I'm trying to do. But I ended up with a lot of unused space and rooms. So now it turns out I have 2 small to mid-sized rooms, which are good rooms. They get the job done. I like them a lot, but I can't help but feel like having one large room would open a lot more opportunities. So here's what I'm thinking. You subscribe and just give me a little bit of time, and we will give this room exactly what it needs. Oh. Yeah, I think that turned out well.
Yeah. didn't go through the wall and hit your computer.
That's a plus. I was a little terrified. It's breaking, like throwing a sledgehammer into a wall is like, I've never done it before. So.
I've never seen somebody do it. So
yeah. I mean, I've thrown it through gingerbread walls. But that's about it.
Yeah. I've thrown a chair.
Into a wall?
Not into a wall, to the floor.
Okay.
It wasn't gaming range either.
I need to figure out how to get the rest of the wall down.